Be me, 22-year-old sociology student, convinced that society stacks the deck for men. Weekends spent organizing protests against internalized misogyny on campus, believing deeply in exposing hidden patriarchal privileges. Once staged a library protest over placing Jordan Peterson's books beside feminist literature. Online, I block any guy who says not all men. Feeling righteous, confident, convinced men cruise through life untouched by harassment, judgment, or rejection. One night, confidently tweet, reminder, being a man isn't hard, it's unchecked privilege. Tweet blows up, tons of support, validation flooding in. But then, a random guy replies sarcastically, try living as a man before you talk. Laugh it off publicly, but privately annoyed. Decide it's time for an experiment, prove once and for all how easy guys have it. Tell my roommate Sam the idea, I'll create a fake male dating profile and document how effortlessly matches pour in. She agrees excitedly. Together, we pick stock photos, handsome but approachable, bearded guy named Noah. Bio says, book lover, coffee over clubs, seeking something genuine. Feeling smugly confident, we launch Noah on Tinder. Day 1, 2 hours of swiping yield just 2 matches. One unmatches within minutes, the other never replies. Confused, I double-check the pictures with a male friend who confirms they're great. So it's not the photos. Post an update about the experiment online, reactions range from laughter to cryptic warnings like you're about to feel real pain. Day 2, change strategy, swipe right on everyone. Results barely improve, 4 matches. First message from a girl, you better be 6 feet. Another demands my Instagram, then ghosts upon learning Noah doesn't have one. The few conversations feel cold, empty, forced. Begin feeling a strange discomfort, less annoyed, more invisible. Post another humorous update to mask the creeping unease. Try Bumble next, women message first. 2 matches, no messages. Suspect bots, frustration growing. Rewrite Noah's bio to sound more playful, hikes, horror movies, bonus points for witty banter. Finally, 1 match responds. Her first question, what do you drive? Reply humorously, does a bike count? Instant unmatch. Message Sam, jokingly venting. She replies dryly, welcome to the battlefield. Ask my guy friend if this is normal. He laughs, I wish I got rejected this much, I usually just get ignored. That hits harder than expected. Start watching YouTube videos about why men struggle dating online. Titles like Why Women Swipe Right on Only 5% of Guys initially seem ridiculous, now oddly relatable. Realize the experiment isn't just failing, it's shifting my perspective entirely. Start reflecting differently on past interactions, reconsidering judgments I made hastily about men in my life. Feel a growing discomfort, realizing how quick I've been to dismiss men who maybe were genuinely trying their best. The experiment keeps going, but now it feels more like an awkward obligation than a fun social justice mission. Every day, I try new tactics, wittier openers, sincere compliments, deeper questions. Nothing helps. Most matches never reply. Some give dry, one-word responses. Others unmatch without explanation. The emptiness starts to sting. Not even rejection, just silence. I journal about the experiment, joking that maybe guys aren't emotionally unavailable, just tired from chasing conversations that never go anywhere. Start noticing how exhausting it is to put yourself out there, only to be ignored or ghosted. Finally, after 6 days, I get 1 match, Maya, who actually replies more than 3 times. Conversation starts normal, then she bluntly asks my height. I say 5 feet 10 inches. She instantly responds, that's kinda mid, not gonna lie. Her bio literally says be kind. I close the app, feeling low-key defeated. Begin replaying my own dating history in my head. Remember the guys I labeled as too much or emotionally unavailable, maybe they were just worn down. Recall a guy who brought me flowers after 2 dates. I called it love bombing. A TA offered to help carry my books, I mocked him online. The guy who held the door for me? I ignored him. Realize, for the first time, that being a guy online isn't about constant rejection. It's about invisibility. And it actually hurts. I sit at my desk, staring at my reflection, feeling the weight of it all. For the first time, I want to apologize, but I'm not sure to whom. Maybe to every guy I dismissed or labeled as a red flag for being a little awkward or too kind. I message Sam, I think I'm done. This isn't funny anymore. She replies, honestly, surprised you lasted this long. I log out of Noah's accounts and delete the apps. The silence afterward feels heavy. Out of habit, I open my old Twitter thread, rereading my loud, confident claims about male privilege. I type out a reply, wanting to admit what I've learned, but then delete it. Not ready to be that honest with the world yet. Next day, I'm hanging out with friends. I used to laugh at their stories about awkward guys. One wore cargo shorts on a date, another brought coupons, one said he liked his mom too much. Now, those stories just make me think. I remember a message from a guy on Tinder, you seem thoughtful. What brings you here? I never replied. Thought it was too basic. But maybe he was just doing his best. Sitting on the balcony, coffee in hand, I reflect on how quickly I used to judge men for not meeting impossible standards. If a guy complimented my looks first, unmatched. If he didn't, unmatched. If he didn't have perfect emotional intelligence by date 2, or didn't post the right things online, unmatched. Realize I never gave anyone a real chance. I text an ex from freshman year, the one I called lazy for not being ambitious enough. Message says, hey, hope you're doing well. He responds with nothing but warmth. It stings, in a good way. How did I never see this before? Meet Sam later that night. She laughs when I say, I don't think men are okay. But I mean it. I tell her about Noah, about the silence, the ghosting, the rejection that felt more like erasure than bruised ego. She shrugs, but they still run everything. I nod, but inside I wonder, if this is power, why does it feel so lonely? Back at work, I see Marcus, my male coworker. He's always been too nice, bringing snacks, offering help, staying late on group projects. We used to make fun of him in private chats, joked that he just wanted attention. Today, I just say, hey, thanks for always being thoughtful. He looks genuinely surprised, like no one's ever said that before. His voice cracks as he says, thanks. I keep thinking about all the men I've dismissed or mocked just for being decent. How many guys just gave up because every gesture was seen as suspicious, every word picked apart? Suddenly, I'm curious, what do men actually say when women aren't listening? I go to Reddit, find threads like what's something women will never understand about being a man. The top replies, we don't get touched ever, we can go weeks without a compliment, no one asks if we're okay unless we're dying. I scroll for an hour, feeling tears well up. Why didn't anyone tell me? Or did I just never listen? Later, Sam texts, we should write about this. Maybe do a piece about what it's like to date as a guy. I laugh but say I'm not ready yet. I'm still processing. For the first time, I go back to Tinder, not as Noah, but as myself. I start replying to guys who message me. Not because I'm interested, but because I don't want to be just another silence. It feels like a small act of rebellion. One guy talks about jazz and poetry. We have a real conversation, no flirting, just honesty. He opens up about his dad passing, his dog growing old. I listen, really listen. Then he ghosts. For the first time, I get it, sometimes people just run out of energy to keep trying. Walking through campus, I see signs about ending male violence and toxic masculinity. I used to chant along without thinking. Now, I pause. We don't ask if men are okay before telling them they're dangerous. I go home and journal, realizing not all men are bad, most are just trying, and many are just tired. I still believe in equality. I still post feminist stories. But when someone says, men have it easy, I pause. You should try it sometime, I say. and for the first time I really mean it.